In 1899, high in the mountains of Colorado Springs, Colorado, Nikola Tesla was chasing lightning. His lab tower reached into the clouds, a conductor between earth and sky. But one stormy night, something else answered. Not thunder, not interference. His receiver pulsed with a pattern, a steady rhythm of numbers that seemed intentional. Tesla wrote, "The feeling is as though one planet is greeting another." He believed he had heard a voice from space. Tesla's claim was dismissed as imagination until a few years later, Marconi, inventor of the wireless radio, recorded the same sequence. Then came Jørgen Hals, a Norwegian engineer, who noticed his own radio signals returning after long unnatural delays, as if reflected by an invisible mirror in orbit. Scientists called it long delay echoes. Conspiracy theorists whispered another name, a reply. Were the signals bouncing between Earth and an object that shouldn't be there? Fast forward to May 14, 1944. In the middle of World War II, two US newspapers quietly printed a small but staggering story. Two artificial satellites detected orbiting Earth. The world had never launched one. The source, Major Donald Kehoe, a respected Marine Corps pilot, claimed that government scientists had detected objects 400 and 600 miles above the Earth, transmitting strange radio signals. Astronomer Lincoln LaPaz was assigned to investigate. Within weeks, early NASA researchers reported receiving unknown transmissions from deep above the ionosphere. The phenomenon was then buried under wartime secrecy. In 1957, while tracking Sputnik 2 over Venezuela, astronomers noticed another object. It wasn't Soviet, it was an American. It was moving against the Earth's rotation, something no human technology could accomplish then. Throughout the late 1950s, radar operators around the world logged an unidentified tumbling object. Military analysts suspected a hidden Russian spy satellite, but the secret defense contractor hired to photograph it reported nothing. Or perhaps everything and the photos vanished into classified archives. In May 1961, the Smithsonian Observatory in Harvard publicly admitted to seeing the same dark object. Across the ocean, astronomer Jacques Vallée in Paris tracked it carefully. What he found defied logic. The satellite was in a polar orbit, circling from pole to pole. No nation possessed rockets capable of achieving that path back then. Vallée described the object as enormous, metallic, silent, roughly the size of an oil truck. Days later, his photographic plates were seized and his film reels destroyed under orders. Who gave the order remains unknown. 2 years later, in 1963, astronaut Gordon Cooper, alone in his capsule during the Mercury 9 mission, reported a glowing green object approaching from the darkness. Ground radar confirmed something was there, but moments later, the feed went dead. When Cooper returned, the press was told not to ask about it. Years later, he spoke openly. He'd seen craft shaped like discs at Edwards Air Force Base, machines that, in his words, moved like thought itself. Was something watching our first steps into space? In 1973, Scottish researcher Duncan Lunnan revisited decades of radio data. When he mapped the signal's timing, a picture emerged, a star chart. It pointed to the constellation Boötes, highlighting the bright star Arcturus, but not its modern position. It matched the sky 13,000 years ago. Lunnan's interpretation of the message in the chart is as follows. Our home is Epsilon Boötes, a double star. We live on the sixth planet of 7. This is our message to you. If true, it would mean the satellite had been orbiting Earth since before the dawn of civilization. In 1998, astronauts aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour captured photographs of a jet black object drifting above the Earth. The images went viral. NASA said it was merely a thermal blanket lost during construction of the International Space Station. But amateur radio operators claim to have intercepted faint rhythmic pulses soon after, the same pattern Tesla had once heard. Ancient records at Phil, Sumerian text describes dark watchers above the skies. The Mahabharata references iron birds that shone not in sunlight. Could these myths be echoes of the same visitor? Declassified files mention unidentified orbital debris tracked intermittently since the 1950s, objects that appear, vanish, and reappear years later in different orbits. Some theorists believe the Black Knight moves intentionally, switching positions to avoid detection. Others claim radar pings reveal a magnetic signature stronger than any known satellite. One chilling report from 2019 describes a ham radio operator in Argentina receiving a 15-second burst of numeric tones, identical to Tesla's original logbook entries. Scientists argue that there is nothing supernatural here. Tesla and Marconi likely heard pulsars, which are cosmic lighthouses flashing radio waves. Duncan Noonan later admitted his decoded message might have been a thought experiment. NASA's photographs, experts say, show a space blanket twisting in zero gravity. And yet, how do we explain the reports that predate satellites, the destroyed photos, then the coordinated silence of institutions meant to share data? Maybe the Black Knight is just a story, a reflection of our longing for a cosmic connection. Or maybe it's just more than a story. What do you think? Let us know in your comments.